Hi everyone, in this video I'll be installing Ubuntu Studio on a separate disk without using a USB drive or DVD. Ubuntu Studio is an Ubuntu distribution designed for creative professionals who work with audio, video, graphics, photography, and publishing. And installing it on another disk is great if you want to keep things separate from Windows. So to get started, going to download Ubuntu Studio, going to ubuntustudio.org, and then going to download. And then I'm going to download the LTS version, the long-term support version, direct download. And then once downloaded, go into your downloads folder and then select the image and then hit enter or right click and mount. Open. And now it's mounted on a virtual drive. It's on the E drive. And then now I'm going to open up disk management. And then so I have here disk 0. This is my first disk. This has Windows and this is my SSD drive. And then disk 1, my second disk here. This is my NVMe drive. And I'm going to be putting Ubuntu Studio on this drive here. And I don't need to use the entire drive. I'm just going to use some existing free space on it. So on my D drive here, there's 141 gigabytes free, so a lot of free space. And I don't need to shrink the D drive here in disk management. I can do it in the installer. And there's my virtual drive where I mounted the ISO file. So if I select it, right click and go to properties. And so it's about 7.64 gigabytes, 8 gigs. Cancel. And I'll need to create a new partition of 8 gigs on my first drive so I can boot from it. And then after I'm done installing Ubuntu Studio, I'll remove it. So going onto my first drive here, there's my C drive. I'm going to shrink this. Shrink volume, 8,000. Shrink. All right, there's my unallocated space. I'm going to select it, right click, new simple volume, and next, next, next. And here it asks to select a file system. Now the UEFI specs state that it is based on the FAT file system. And if I were to select FAT32, I won't be able to copy everything from the virtual drive as the squash.fs file is greater than 4 gigabytes. So if I were to go into my E drive and then go into Casper and then the standard squash.fs file, it's greater than 4 gigabytes. And 4 gigabytes is the maximum individual file size limit in FAT32. So going back into disk management, I'm going to be having to select NTFS. But the UEFI specs don't mention about NTFS, so will this work? Now this will depend on your BIOS vendor and how they've coded the UEFI specs into their firmware. My BIOS is American Megatrends, and it is able to detect this partition. Many large motherboard manufacturers out there also use American Megatrends, but they could also be heavily modified, so take that into consideration. So I'm going to label this as ISO. Next, finish. All right, there's my new F drive. Going back into the E drive, and then going to go into the root, and then selecting everything, copy, and then going into my new F drive, and then paste. All right, so everything has been copied over into the F drive, and going back into disk management, and we see here my F drive here, it's seen as a basic data partition. So I'm going to set it up as an EFI system partition, similar to how my 100 megabyte EFI system partition here is. So I'm going to change that. Going to open up disk part as administrator. Yes. Going to list my disk. And I'm going to select disk 0, list my partitions, and I'm going to select partition number 4, the 8000 megabyte partition, help set ID, and I'm going to scroll up. Look for the EFI system partition value in hex. I'm going to copy it, and then type in set ID equals, and then paste, enter. All right, the partition ID has been set. We see it here. It's been set as an EFI system partition. And now I'm going to restart my computer and go into the BIOS. In your BIOS, ensure that secure boot is disabled, and if you have fast boot, disable it as well. And now I'm going to do a one-time boot into the installation partition. It's labeled as UEFI OS, and how I can confirm that: go back into Windows, open up a command prompt as administrator, type in bcdedit space / enum space firmware, and at the bottom you can see that there's device partition F, the F drive that was created, and the description UEFI OS. So I'm going to select it. All right, it's booted into the installation media partition, and we see here try or install Ubuntu Studio. Select it. All right, and the installer starts up, and it's asking me to select my language, English, next, and my keyboard, next, and I'm using a wired connection, next, and I want to install Ubuntu Studio, next, interactive installation, next, and I'm going to install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware, including but not limited to NVIDIA drivers and similar. And I'm going to download and install support for additional media formats, including but not limited to MP3, MP4, MOV, and similar. Next. And here it's asking how do you want to install Ubuntu Studio, and I'm going to be selecting the first option, install Ubuntu Studio alongside the Windows Boot Manager. Next. And so it's automatically selected my NVMe drive and the first partition, or the data drive here. And here I can set aside how much space I want to use for Ubuntu Studio. Or I can just use the field here. So let's say I do 50 gigabytes. And then next. And then put in your name, computer name, username, and password. And then next. And then select your time zone. Next. And here's a summary screen, and it's asking you to review your choices. So I'm installing Ubuntu Studio alongside the Windows Boot Manager. And it's using my NVMe drive, my second drive here. And the applications, Ubuntu Studio Desktop, disk encryption, none, and proprietary software, codecs and drivers. And it's going to resize my data drive here by 50 gigabytes, and then it's going to create a new partition, a FAT32 partition for the Ubuntu Studio UEFI partition, and everything else is going to be on slash using ext4, and then when it's ready, hit install. And then you can go to the bottom right and click on the little icon here, and it'll show the progress, and then you can select it again to get out of it. And so this will take a little bit of time to install. All right, the installation completed. Now, when I restart, it should boot into Grub, which is the bootloader that Ubuntu Studio uses. But to make sure, I'm going to restart and then go into the BIOS. All right, so my boot order here, boot option number 1 is the Windows Boot Manager. Boot option number 2 is the UEFI OS. And boot option number 3 is Ubuntu. And so I'll have to change that. So it'll be boot option number 1. And then I'll save changes and exit. All right, Grub comes up, and there's the Ubuntu Studio bootloader. And I got Ubuntu, advanced options for Ubuntu, memory test with serial console, and there's the Windows entry, and UEFI firmware settings. So I'm going to go into Ubuntu. I'm going to log in. Ubuntu Studio audio configuration. Your system and/or user configuration is not optimally configured for audio production. In order to fix this, a system restart will be required. Okay. So I'll need to restart it. Go back into Ubuntu. Log in. All right, and I'm in Ubuntu Studio. And if I check what applications I have here, audio production, and I have Audacity, example, graphic design, I have GIMP, and video production, I have Blender, and there's OBS. So I have a lot of useful applications already installed. And now I'm going to restart my computer to ensure I can get back into Windows. I'm going to select Windows. log in. All right, and I'm back in Windows, and I'm going to open up Disk Management. And so there's my installation media partition. I no longer need it, so I can remove it. Now if I right click and go to delete volume, it is grayed out. So I'll have to remove this in disk part, start disk part, run as administrator, yes. And I'm going to list my disk, select disk 0, list my partitions, and it's partition number 4, so select it, and then type in delete partition override. And going back, see it's been removed, and I'm going to extend my C drive. Next, next, finish. And so that's it. That's how you can install Ubuntu Studio on a separate disk without using a USB drive or DVD. I hope this video was useful, and I thank you for watching. Bye now.